G'day gamers, I'm Mad Mikey, I come from the land down under, and in today's show we're going to talk about Microsoft's announcement of the March Games with Gold today, a beloved PlayStation 2 game getting some HD love, and not to mention that now Australians, you're going to have to pay more for games on Steam. All of that in today's show of... Yeah. What's going on in the world today? People fighting, feuding, looting. It's okay. Let it go. Let it flow. Let the good times roll. Tell 'em, Mikey. It ain't nothing but gaming. Mad Mikey Gaming. Alright guys, so let's get into it. In today's show, we're going to talk about how Steam is now charging Australians, here in Australia, the land down under, an extra 10% GST on our online games. Now, this is coming into effect in July, I believe, but this is really silly. Not only do we get caught with the currency conversion of the US dollar on Steam, but now the Australian government is going to be getting an extra 10% of that. So are we really going to know how much we're getting charged on this whole thing? And it isn't actually just affecting Australia, it is also just a big rollout going across the world. Going across from multiple countries, starting in March, for example, Steam will be addressing the sales to taxes in Switzerland, South Korea, Japan, New Zealand, Iceland, South Africa, and India. So just to be clear, this money isn't actually going to Steam. This is actually a tax, just like it is in America. But in America, obviously, you buy... This is what I found really weird when I was in America. So you go and you look and, oh, I want to buy that. That's $5. But then when you go to pay for it, it's like $6 because that's the state tax, the government tax, and everything like that. Here in Australia, it's actually incorporated into it. Buying games in Australia on Steam is actually already pretty expensive, and the addition of the 10% increase is obviously going to hit us a bit more in the pockets. I don't understand why we have to pay GST for internet goods. I mean, I might be a bit ignorant when it comes to this, whereas online, we're buying it off of a server from another country. We're paying US dollars as well. So unless Steam actually does something and actually changes it to reflect Australian prices on there, I don't feel that this is warranted in any way, shape or form. I'm actually pretty peeved about this because this is just going to start hitting everywhere now. It's only a matter of time before eBay starts sort of charging GST. The government will try and obviously get any piece of the pie, but yet skimp on our internet. Really weird. Because then, don't we pay GST on internet as well? And then our phone lines so they're really double dipping. I know there's probably a lot of technicalities involved to the point where you could say, no, Mikey, you're a dumbass. But that's just how I feel. I mean, we pay GST on everything. So why are we having to pay for something that we're downloading through something that we're already paying GST on? It's a bit of crazy thinking, but yeah, you know. And next up, only in Japan, they're getting Star Ocean Until the End of Time HD, the director's cut. Now, this is a game, I'm not 100% sure if we've actually got it elsewhere, but this is only going to be on the PlayStation 4 in Japan. Now, I've actually want to get into the whole Star Ocean thing. I played the one on the 360 and a little bit of the one on the PlayStation 4. I've seen the actual screenshots of it and it looks like a really lazy port. So chances are, if this does well in Japan, it'll probably end up coming to the Western countries. But I'm not really a fan of these half-assed HD remakes. I mean, all they're really doing is just cleaning up the textures and that's about it, really. Resident Evil Remake, now that's a HD remake. And that's really just the standard of how we should look at it. It's pretty funny that it just comes from Capcom. So this is also only going to be digitally only. So if it's only like a $10 game when it actually eventually comes down here, I'd only expect to probably spend about $10 to $20 on this. But yeah, look, I'm hoping that it actually comes over here because I am interested to play it. But if it's at a premium price, no thank you. Bye-bye. And in the last bit, as I announced, March's Games with Gold have been announced already, so they're very ahead of schedule. And it's a bit of a mixed bag this month. First, for the whole month, starting from March 1st till the end of March, you're going to get Layers of Fear. Now, this is actually a game that I've been interested in for a while, but haven't felt like sort of plonking down the $20 to $30 that it is. I'm actually going to look forward to getting this. And from March 16 onto April 16, you're going to be getting Evolve. Yeah, that's an online game that failed miserably. I mean, I know Microsoft generally try and do this, that if a game has potential and it hasn't sold well, that they'll put it on with the Games with Gold to try and rejuvenate it and try and cop back some of the money for those guys. I don't see that making any comeback anytime soon. It's a free-to-play game now, and it just failed miserably. I played it myself when it first came out, and I actually took it back. I just didn't see myself as a game that I was going to play. It's a 4 versus 1 game, in case you don't know. You play 4 hunters against 1 monster, and it's basically just an online multiplayer game, and I didn't think that it was really that good. Again, multiplayer games without a single player story, nah, don't waste my time. Sorry, guys. And on the 360 side of things, we got Borderlands 2 coming out on 360 from the 1st of March till the end of March. That's a really cool game. If you don't have it, or if you've never played it, I do suggest that you do get it. It's an awesome game that you can play online with 3 other people. You can play it solo if you want, and it's just got a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's a pity it doesn't actually come with all the DLC, or it's not like the Game of the Year edition. The single player itself is phenomenal. It's one of the best sort of shooting, loot grabbing games you can get out there, so highly recommend it. From March 16 on to April 16, you get Heavy Weapon, which I don't know anything about. It looks like a little just simple shooting game in vein of, like, you know, all your Neo Geo games. It's like Metal Slug, except you're like robots. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Which games are you going to be picking up from the Games with Gold? Are you upset about Steam charging us an extra 10%? Let us know in the comments below, guys, and I hope you have a great day. I will see you tomorrow for the shit I'll never play. Bye, guys.